You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer the questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. At the end of the test, you will be given 5 minutes to transfer your answer to an answer sheet. Now look at Part 1. Part 1. You will hear people talking in 8 different situations. For questions 1 to 8, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. Question 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Walters. Welcome aboard flight number W445. I hope you enjoyed your stay in Singapore, or if you transferred from another flight, that you enjoyed your stopover at Changi Airport. We'll be taking off in approximately 10 minutes. This flight is expected to take 7 hours and 25 minutes, so we will be arriving approximately 20 minutes before the scheduled time because of a strong tailwind.
Question 2.
Here is the weather report for the long weekend. The Weather Bureau has forecast stormy conditions for Saturday. If you are planning to head outside tomorrow, make sure to pack an umbrella with you. There will be strong winds and occasional showers. However, conditions will improve on Sunday and Monday, when we can expect very cool mornings, with frost in outlying areas, followed by sunny and fine days. Now stay tuned as we will be back with the local traffic report right after this commercial break.
Question 3.
This is an important announcement. The management regrets to announce that there has been a change in tonight's program. Due to the late arrival of the visiting team, the game will commence at the new time of 7:30 p.m. We regret any inconvenience. Any patrons who are unable to watch the game tonight should make their way to the ticket office outside the North Gate for a full refund or replacement tickets.
Question 4.
Hello, Joe. This is Michael, and I'm calling about the monthly Philatelic Society meeting that was scheduled for this Thursday. Unfortunately, the president has to leave on an urgent business trip this Wednesday and won't be back until next Monday evening. He asked me to contact all the members and arrange a meeting for next week. Instead of meeting at the City Hall Annex, he wants to meet at his house in Markham City at 8 p.m. next Tuesday. We hope you can make it. Oh, and please contact the secretary to get the address details. Her number is 755-0098. Thanks.
Question 5.
What exactly is missing, sir?
I thought the thieves had taken the television set, because it wasn't in its usual place in the dining room. Then I went to check my CD player and CDs. I keep them on an antique chest of drawers. All the CDs were on the floor with the CD player, but the chest had completely disappeared. It wasn't in the garden either, which is where I found the television.
Right, sir. Well, can you give me a detailed description of it?
Question 6.
We ought to take a present if we're staying for the weekend.
Let's get something a bit different. People always take flowers, and it's rather hot for chocolates. What about something for the children, like a DVD? Or some unbreakable glasses they can all use outside or on picnics?
Good idea. And let's get a jug to go with them. The children have probably got lots of DVDs.
Question 7.
Hotel York.
Hello, I'm staying in your hotel tonight, and I'm arriving quite late, about 10:30. Will there be any food available in the hotel?
I'm afraid the restaurant closes at 10 o'clock, but the bar does burgers and chips until midnight. And there's always the pizza place opposite, which stays open late. Or we can bring sandwiches to your room, if you prefer.
Fine. I won't want to eat burgers or pizza at that time of night.
Question 8.
I'm travelling from Banbury to Witney tomorrow, and I need to be there about 10 in the morning. Can you tell me when the trains leave and how much a single ticket is?
The 8:35 train gets in at 9:40. That's £12.65 for a single. The train after that leaves at 9:10 and arrives at 10:15. That costs less because you're travelling after 9. The fare is £10.45.
I'll take the second train. Just after 10 is fine. Thanks.
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.
Now look at Part 2. Part 2. You will hear a number of conversations between two people. You will be asked to answer 3 questions about what is said in each conversation. For each question, choose the best answer A, B, or C. Question 9 to 11.
Ted, call the office and ask Jose to bring the projector. We'll need it for this afternoon's meeting. Also ask him to bring the big fold-out table and the days.
And Jose doesn't have a key to the equipment room. He hasn't been working here long enough to be given a key.
Well, tell him there's one in my desk drawer. And tell Mrs. Ames to get Jose a key. He needs it to do his job.
Question 12 to 14.
Was there a call for me? I thought I heard the phone ringing a few minutes ago, and I'm expecting my assistant to call with figures for the budget.
You did hear the phone ring, but the call was for me. My boss wants me to go in to work early tomorrow.
Again? He's always asking you to do that. When's he going to call to offer you a bonus or a raise?
He needs me to help finish the report for the accountant and wants it done before noon. If I go in early, as he asks, maybe one day I will get that raise.
Question 15 to 17.
Room 220 is smaller than our other rooms, but the price is just $165 for the night.
Does that include use of the pool and the exercise room?
Of course, it includes the use of all facilities except the tennis courts, which are closed for the winter.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll just carry my suitcase up and have a quick look at the room, and then I'm going out for a bite to eat. I'm starving.
Question 18 to 20.
Hi, Fumiko. How's the psychology course going?
Oh, hi, Victor. I'm really enjoying it, but I've got a project this term that is, part of my assessment, and the topic is really hard.
Oh, is it ideas that you need?
Oh, thanks, but I think I've got plenty. That's the trouble. I don't really know where to start. My tutor's given me such a huge area to cover that I can't seem to narrow it down to something I can manage.
So, what's the topic then? Maybe I can help.
Well, it's... the mystery of human relationships.
Your tutor's Mr. Dresden, I bet.
How do you know?
Well, he gives very, shall we say, broad project titles. I mean, when I had him, one of my topics was happiness is ...
He makes you think, doesn't he?
Yeah. The thing about Mr. Dresden is that he likes to find out what you really enjoy working on.
That's a good idea in theory. If I had more time, it would be fine.
So, what reading have you done so far?
Well, he's done one lecture on my topic. That was a few weeks ago. And then he gave us a couple of articles from a journal.
Have you still got them?
I put them away somewhere without looking at them. I'll find them eventually. But I've just got these books from the library. I might find something useful in these.
Have you been on the internet?
I have, and there are some fascinating reports, but they made me realize just how much has been written.
Well, what exactly have you got to do for the project? I guess you have to present it, so...
That's the end of part 2.
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.
Now look at part 3. Part 3. You will hear a number of talks. You must answer the questions about what is said in each talk. For each question, choose the best answer A, B, or C. Question 21 to 23.
Hello, Miss Sullivan. Please take the time to listen to this message. We are very proud to announce our new catering service that is available to you. Our hours of operation are Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you are interested in this offer, you can begin your service right away. Please use our promotional code MLGT25687 when you are ready to place your first order.
Question 24 to 29.
With us today to tell us about his trip across Africa is the biologist Paul Hart.
We started on the east coast and travelled on foot across Africa to Gabon, collecting plants and flowers along the way. It wasn't easy, but my route crossed a region rich in plants, and I chose it because it won't stay that way for long when more roads are built. It was my only chance to get important information about the natural life of the area. I had a team of 11 scientists. We walked from 6 in the morning, but the forest was so thick it took hours to cut our way through it, and some days we only walked 1 kilometre before dark. Fortunately, we carried special equipment that was very light, and we took as little food as possible. but we were always tired when we put the tents up at night. Sometimes we saw elephants or lions. They were amazing to watch, and never attacked us. Every day I collected plants and added to my notes. There was so much new information to write down. There were, of course, some low points, especially when I got anxious about the team. It was my job to make sure everyone got home safely. Towards the end of the trip, I suddenly discovered one day that the food had nearly all gone. It was strange, because we'd brought enough dried food with us to last the trip, food that wouldn't ever go bad, and we'd stopped at villages for fresh food, too. But then I found that some of the team had eaten much more than they were supposed to. I was angry with them, because it was a silly thing to do. Then we started walking again. There were no maps for the area, but we had a local guide. Then one of the team got sick, and we couldn't go any further. We let him rest, but he got much worse. Thankfully, his life was saved by a fisherman who came along the river in a boat and took him to a doctor in the nearest village. Finally, I returned home, and I'm back with my family and friends. I really missed them while I was away, but I learnt so much on the trip, and I'm really glad I went. I was asked to go on another trip, this time to Australia, but I said that I couldn't because I'm busy here in London, and I think I've done enough travelling.
Questions 30 to 35.
Good morning, everyone. Today's lecture forms part of the Hospitality and Tourism module. Last week, I looked at the economy end of the hotel business. This week, I'm going to discuss the luxury end of the market. Let's consider the following scenario. You wake up in the middle of the night in a strange hotel miles away from home, disoriented most probably from jet lag, when even the most expensive surroundings can seem empty and dispiriting. You have paid a great deal of money to stay in this first-class hotel with its contemporary technology, but according to recent research carried out by an international travel and public relations company, all is not well. The research suggests that even the most opulent, luxurious hotels seem to have underestimated the most basic needs of their customers, be they traveling for work or pleasure. The need to feel at home in surroundings which are both familiar and inviting. Do these findings, however, apply only to hotels situated in particular areas? Is it possible that the external environment can affect a guest's well-being? The company's research covered a whole range of different hotel types, both independent hotels and those which are part of large chains. They investigated chic so-called boutique hotels in the heart of downtown business districts, stately mansions located in the depths of beautiful countryside, and plush hotels built at the edge of tropical beaches, surrounded by palm trees and idyllic blue ocean. And the research concluded that what was outside the hotel building simply didn't matter. This is a fascinating revelation, and those of you hoping to move into careers in the travel and leisure industry would be well advised to look at the findings in more detail. But back to the main point of this lecture, the need to feel at home. What can the hotel industry do about it? And is the very idea so subjective that it's impossible to do anything about it on a global basis? However, nothing stands still in this world. One company has come up with the slogan, "Take your home with you," and aims to provide clients with luxury serviced apartments. Those in the business travel industry maintain that these serviced apartments dispense with all the unwanted and expensive hotel services that business travelers don't want, while maximizing the facilities they do want. For example, not only sleeping and living accommodation, but also a sleek, modern kitchen that allows guests to cook and entertain, if they wish, at no additional cost. The attractions of such facilities are obvious, and it'll be interesting to see whether the company manages to establish a trend all over the world and make a lasting impact on the luxury accommodation market. Now, finally, I want to consider the psychology underpinning the traditional holiday hotel industry. As a hotelier, how do you go about attracting people to give up the security of their own home and entrust themselves to staying in a completely strange place and sleeping in an unfamiliar bed? Firstly, hotels exploit people's need to escape the predictability of their everyday lives. For a few days, people can pretend they are free of responsibilities and can indulge themselves. Secondly, there is something very powerful in our need to be pampered and looked after. It's almost as if we returned to being a baby when everything was done for us and we felt safe and secure. And not far removed from this is the pleasure in being spoilt and given little treats, like the minuscule bottles of shampoo and tiny bars of soap, the chocolate on your pillow at night. And we actually forget that we are paying for it all. Next week, I'm going to look at eco-hotels, a fairly new phenomenon, but increasingly popular, particularly...
That's the end of part 3. You now have 5 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.